Nigel Farage.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker.
Here's Nigel Farage giving his take on the budget.
I think we have to give credit to the Chancellor for a budget that, in terms of political presentation, was very, very clever. I think the decision to put money into potholes was clever. The fuel duty-frees, very, very welcome, especially for those living in rural parts of our country. But economically, I sat listening to the numbers thinking this budget is illiterate. I don't know who's doing the sums, whether perhaps it's the Right Honourable Member for Hackney North, but the sums do not work. Invest, invest, invest is what we heard at the start of this budget speech, and I thought, yes, that's what we need, absolutely. Not just the big multinationals that come to smart conferences, but equally, hundreds of thousands of people putting their own risk capital into start-ups, into new businesses.
So he begins talking about investment in businesses, small and large, and you think, OK, fair enough.
But no, this invest, invest, invest is going to be done by the Chancellor on our behalf. Not just a top economist at the Bank of England, but she's now going to be the fund manager of the nation, investing money and trying to pick winners. And I would suggest the last time governments attempted back in the 1970s to invest money and pick winners, it ended very badly indeed. And I've worked in private business myself, and I do wonder, I do think picking winners is wrong. I think we leave this to the free market and we let people either make money or we let them lose money. And frankly, if they do their dough, well, that's just the way these things work.
So, as you can hear, Nigel is a neoliberalist. Leave everything up to the free market, the idea being that unregulated markets are good for all. Competition is meant to bring down prices for consumers and businesses flourish. The tendency is, in a free market economy, though, is for the rich to get richer and the poor to get poorer. Hell, let's bring in Bernie.
Whoa! What happens in 1982? Well, Ronald Reagan is president, and the good news is we are into trickle-down economics. And here it is. And this chart tells it all. This is what the top 20% got. This is what the top 10% got. This is what the bottom 90% got. And here we are in the last number here where we are today. And lo and behold, the top 10% gets it all. Gets it all. And frankly, this is a metaphor. This is an example of exactly what trickle-down economics is all about.
And I make the point that I've set up companies and run companies. Nobody on the front bench has ever worked in private business. Nobody on the front bench understands what genuine risk capital is. Our business secretary, from what I can make out, has never even had a job. But the most dismal part, no, I've had plenty of jobs. Well, apart from being in the European Parliament, which doesn't really count, obviously. And nobody's even mentioned today the fact that gross domestic product per capita, wealth per capita, has been falling consistently nearly every single quarter for the last 2 years.
Yeah, but nobody has mentioned the massive financial impact of Brexit either, have they, Nigel? But carry on spinning your deceitful web.
The bigger our population becomes, the poorer we are becoming. And that's a reality we've got to wake up to. But I would say this. The big picture is we're in decline. We're getting poorer. There isn't a £22 billion black hole. That's nonsense. It's 2.7 trillion. Our debt repayments are 90 billion a year. And from all the figures I've seen today, that will be worse in 5 years' time than it is today. We need a complete change of culture.
Yes, we do. I say that we need to find some alternative to the neoliberal ideology that means we constantly have to be growing in order to feed the greedy business owners. But let's see what Nigel has in mind.
We need to start saying success is a good thing. Making money is a great thing. People becoming rich is something we should encourage. We've got to change our culture of work. The idea that, oh yes, work from home, do a 4-day week, get your work-life balance right. Well, you know what, actually, why don't we say to people, young people, hard work is a good thing. Yeah. Hard work is the only way anybody succeeds individually.
Yeah, that's going to fix everything. A can-do attitude. Moron. The work environment is changing and jobs are being eroded by AI and robots. The only jobs left for humans in the future will be with Deliveroo. And I saw a video the other day of a drone carrying a pizza.
And hard work is the only way we're going to have a chance as a country to turn any of this around. We are in much deeper trouble than anybody on either front bench dares to admit. It's a reality we should all face. And I have to say that, for a Labour Party that couldn't define what a woman was, couldn't define what a working person was, well, after today, I'm pretty convinced they can't define what economic growth is. Thank you.
Yeah.
Click here for Nigel goes to a farm because he cares about farmers now.